welcome to Paw Prints University. Here I am, Lindsay Page. I'm a trainer here at Paw Prints, and I have a whole bunch to share with you today. You guys, we are gearing up for a new year, and it is going to be a fantastic year. 2021 is our year. Let's make it that way, and let's make it fear-free. So today we're going to be talking all about making New Year's resolutions for the dogs. We're going to say out with the fear of 2020 and in with the rewards for 2021. And I'm here today to share with you guys where I came from, where I am now, and where I'm going. I have a whole bunch to share with you, so please stick with me through the end. The first thing I want to talk to you guys about is something that's kind of challenging to talk about, and it's about aversives. Aversives are things that we do to our dogs that hurt them. It's things like, it's putting them into a position that they may be uncomfortable doing. It may be physically manipulating them or injuring them. And I have 5 things I want to talk about. The first, before I really get started, the reason why I'm bringing this all up is as we're gearing into the new year, a lot of people have fireworks, and that is often the one thing that we talk about as far as keeping our dogs safe, is giving them something else to do when there's fireworks. So before I give you some ideas on that, I want to share with you some other things that can also scare dogs and our cats and other animals, because they don't understand what's going on, and we're here to nurture them and to give them the best life they can have in a home where they didn't necessarily get to choose what they eat and where they sleep. And so since we're giving them those choices, we want to make sure that they enjoy those choices and they feel safe and loved. So the first thing I want to talk about in my top 5, here we go. I have actually 3 top 5s today. So this is the first. The first one is talking about aversives. And this is also the reason why I say where I came from and where I am and where I'm going. So I just want you all to know that I am currently a certified fear-free trainer. I am really proud of that fact that I have jumped into this and care a lot about taking care of these animals. And so I only got into training a few years ago. I've been a dog walker for almost 20 years now. And when I started out, I would say to my clients, I'm not a trainer, I'm a dog walker. And my experience as a dog walker for the past however many years it's been, I've seen this, this, and this. And I was scared to become a trainer because I had a feeling that trainers were mean to animals. Like, that was my vision, that trainers were not nice. And so I didn't want to become a trainer. And I finally had a talk with a friend of mine who is a trainer also in this community, and she said, Lindsay, we're not scary and bad, all of us. And so I said, okay, give me some help here, guidance. And so she led me into learning that all trainers are, there's a lot of us out here who are using force-free, rewards-based training methods, and that I can do that too. So that's what I'm doing now, but where I came from isn't necessarily all fear-free. I didn't know what I was doing when I started. So there were some dogs that I walked that used a choke collar or a prong collar, and those things hurt dogs. Those are not comfortable. In fact, I promote dogs wearing harnesses or even a head halter like this because it's safer on the dogs. It takes the pressure off of their neck, and it's not painful to them. So I don't use prong collars and choke collars anymore, but that's the first thing I wanted to share with you, that is considered an aversive, and as a fear-free trainer, I do not promote those. The next thing that some of my clients in the past have used, and I know a lot of people in the community and the world do use, are these e-collars, electric collars. It's either a shock collar, some of them even just vibrate, which is still considered an aversive, because what you're doing is you're giving the dog something that hurts them in order to get them to stop doing something. And it doesn't always work the way we want. It can backfire when not used properly. And so as a fear-free trainer, I do not promote using e-collars for anything, for either barking or fencing or for aggression issues. So that is my second tip for you guys, is that as a fear-free trainer, I do not promote e-collars. The third thing I wanted to talk to you is about the crates. So, we talk a lot about crates. Some people think that crates are, it's a punishment to stick a dog in a crate. And as some people do use a crate to punish their dogs when they're getting too excited or they bite them or they want them space, so as a fear-free trainer, we talk about a crate in a different way. A crate is a safe space for your dog. It is meant to be a place where they can go and feel safe, that nothing is going to harm them when they're in their crate. And they either get nice rewards, whether it's a cozy bed or a nice treat or a meal, or just a safe, quiet space away from the chaos of the family, or if there's an event going on in your home and you want to give your dog some space. So it's a nice, safe space. But where I came from, when I first started walking dogs, and I saw dogs all over the place. I worked in Washington, D.C. and the suburbs, and I saw dogs in all different situations. And so sometimes dogs were scared to leave their crate when a stranger or a new dog walker would come into their home. And so I made the mistake a couple of times. I think actually one time I made the mistake of sticking my hand in a crate and having the dog bite my finger because I didn't know any better. And I learned really fast that wasn't going to work. So, as a fear-free trainer, I now have a lot of different ways to encourage a dog out of a crate safely without scaring them. And sometimes it feels like it takes a lot longer to get the job done, but actually it doesn't take a lot longer. It's more rewarding. And so in the long run, it will be a lot easier if your dog wants to come out of the crate for a new person or even for you without fear. So that's one of the things I learned. And another thing, and this is pretty embarrassing for me, you guys, I have not talked about this publicly ever. This is one thing that I did, and I didn't know any better. I was taught this from someone else who's in the dog business, and I didn't know any better, and I thought it was okay to tip a crate. And I'm going to explain to you what that means, and it is not okay. So what I'm saying is not okay. I'm very uncomfortable sharing this with you, but I need to get it out to share with you guys like how hard this is for me to explain. So as a dog walker, my job was to go walk a dog. And so I would go into people's homes and grab the leash and grab the harness and let's go, and I was real quick about it. And I have a 30-minute walk, and that's what we're doing. And so I had a dog who was scared to come out of their crate, and I was told by another dog walker that if I tipped the crate and they could slide out, then I could remove the crate from the area, and then the dog would not have that safe space to hide in, and I would be able to get the dog on a leash and take him for a walk. Now, one part of that is correct. That dog in particular used that crate as a hiding place, and they were fearful of a lot more than just me. And so what happened was when they actually did have a professional trainer at the time come in, they recommended that the crate was removed. So that part was right. But tipping the crate and making the dog even more scared, which is what I did, was not in the fear-free world. Like, that's not okay. And so I just want to say that, like, there are ways to use a crate in a proper way and to keep your dog safe. And then there's some ways like sticking your hand in a crate or tipping it that are not okay. So that's my third thing that I wanted to share with you guys. Whew, that feels good to get it out. That was really uncomfortable. So the fourth thing that I wanted to share with you guys about using aversives is spray bottles and bitter apple. These are two very common things that we think, oh, my cat jumps up on the counter and I'm just going to spray. Or my dog keeps chewing my furniture, so I'm going to spray the area with bitter apple. And what happens over time is that they don't care. But what they do care, they don't care. They will still jump on the counter. They will still chew your furniture, but they will be scared of it. So they will have fear about doing it, as opposed to giving your dog or your cat a choice and having them learn that it's better to do something else other than bite the furniture. That it's better to do something else other than jump up onto your kitchen counter if that's not something you want. So what we talk about is teaching incompatible alternate behaviors. And that is a very safe way to do it. And it gives your dogs and your cats other ideas on how they can live in your household safely and not be scared of you or other things going on. So that's my fourth tip. And now that I've got through the fourth, the fifth thing I want to talk about is New Year's Eve. So normally, in normal times, New Year's Eve is a time of big festivities, right? Lots of fireworks, lots of parties, lots of people going on. And since that will happen again in the future, let's talk about it. So this year, I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of fireworks. I just know it because that is an outdoor activity. It is something that people can do to let off steam. They think it's really fun, but you know what? It is terrifying for these animals, for all the animals. So a lot of dogs and cats, like they're not bothered by that noise, like just like they get used to other noises. However, if you have a dog that is scared, what I want to recommend is one, you reach out to your vet if that's something you use to get any kind of prescription medications or anything like that, to make sure that you already have them on hand if your dog needs those. If you want to use something more natural and more like homeopathic, I recommend CBD oil. If you need to use something like that, please reach out to me directly so that I can give you the dosage and show you how to use it and really work with you on it, because you can either give too much or too little or the wrong way. So I want to help you with that. The other thing, they make something called a calming collar. So I'm going to show you this. It's called an adaptable calming collar. And this is a wonderful thing to use for animals who have some like low level anxiety, stress, or fear, because what happens is that it mimics the pheromones that their mom would give off when they were puppies. So it makes them feel really safe. So it comes in a collar, it comes in a plug-in, and it even comes in a travel spray. So the travel spray you can use on their bedding. You can use it in your car if you have to go for a car ride. There's other ways you can use it. I personally spray it on myself when I go for training consultations inside people's homes, you know, in normal times. And so I spray that on myself before I meet new dogs so that they feel safe around me. So that's another idea that you can use. So for fireworks, which are coming up, what you want to do is make sure you have any type of medication or any type of natural things. You can also use something called a thunder shirt. I don't have one here, but a thunder shirt is a really cool thing. It's like giving your dog like a giant hug. So it's a really wonderful way to give your dog a little extra support when they need it. Something else you can do when there are fireworks is you can provide soothing music. You can also give them something like a treat puzzle or a stuffed Kong or something like this, which is a licky mat. And you can, a lot of dogs self-soothe by licking. So you can spread any type of food on here that is good, okay for a dog, like their wet food, the raw food. You can even put banana, nut butter, yogurt, like a plain, you know, no sugar yogurt, something like that. I do want to remind everyone that xylitol is toxic to animals. So make sure that the peanut butter or other nut butter you're giving has no xylitol. Make sure chewing gum is out of the way, and anything else that may have xylitol in it, any of the substitute sugars that you may have in your home. So just checking, I want to make sure. But licky mats is a great way to give your dogs something that is soothing and gives them a little bit of a distraction, because if they're focused on this yummy, tasty licky mat, they may not notice the fireworks going on. So that's my fifth tip on talking about aversives. So moving toward so the positive, like where we are now. So as I mentioned, I'm a fear-free certified trainer, and our goal is to reduce fear, anxiety, and stress in our animals inside and outside their homes. It started by Dr. Marty Becker, who's a vet, and he has made it like worldwide, this movement, and it's really awesome. It makes me feel really good that I can provide these services for you guys. And like I said, the things that I recommend often is the Adaptable Calming Collar, the plugins, CBD oil, thunder shirts. And if you need something more than that, I have recommendations for wonderful veterinarian behaviorists who are in the area, and I would be happy to provide that information as well. I also want my second thing as far as what we're doing now is, like I said, providing rewards-based training in everything we do. So it's not just food motivated. I have a client who said to me recently that, you know, her her dog isn't food motivated. So what do? And there's lots of other things that we can provide for our dog to give them positive feedback, whether it's petting them, saying nice words, giving them a new toy, or, figuring out maybe we can find some kind of a food motivator for them. So there's different ways that we can encourage our dogs. The third tip going along with that idea is that we need to think like a dog. So oftentimes I hear clients say something to me and I say, well, let's think of it from their perspective. And once we do that, we realize that the dog isn't inherently doing anything wrong. The dog is just acting like a dog. And so what we have to do is think like them and realize that we need to kind of shift how we are interacting with them. We need to learn their calming signals. We need to learn when they're stressed. And so I have a whole bunch of tips for you guys on that as well. We'll do that another week, but I just wanted to say we got to think like a dog. And the fourth thing is what I often say pretty much every week on here is to stay positive. And the three things that I say are to be patient, to practice, and be consistent. So we need to be patient with our animals and ourselves. So always end training on a positive note, always. So if you guys are starting to get stressed out, your dog is starting to get stressed, maybe they need to eat or go to the bathroom, stop training on a positive note. Do like something really fun that they love to do and then stop. Just stop, take a break. Keep your training sessions really short, 5-10 minutes at a time. Like you don't have to do it for a long time. Just spread it out throughout the day and practice and be consistent. So what you're doing, if you are doing it in a way that just keeps going, just keep it going. Stay consistent and be patient. So that's my fourth tip. And my last tip is my new 2021 mantra that I am leading us into our new start, which is breathe and pause and love. And the reason why I say those three things, breathe, pause, and love, is because I have to remind myself of that on a daily basis. Sometimes I get really speedy and I forget to breathe. Whew. So thank you for reminding me that I need to breathe by adding that to my top 5 things that we're doing now. And I need to pause. I need to look at the situation. I need to see where we can make a change. And I need to love. I need to love you guys. I need to love myself and all of our animal companions in order to provide the best quality care that I can. So that's where I am. And now let's move into 2021. I've got 5 more things to share with you guys before we end. And that is all the fun, exciting things we have going on for 2021 here at Paw Prints University. The first is I have an amazing new guide called Strut, Don't Stress. If you have not downloaded this guide, please go do it right after you get off of this video. So you can find Strut, Don't Stress on our Facebook pages, on Instagram, and our, up in the profile of our Instagram. And you can find it on our YouTube page, Strut, Don't Stress. It's a great guide. It's going to help you guys walk with success without your dog yanking you down the street. So it has some really awesome tips in there. It even has a little checklist for you. The second thing is, if you haven't already, please join our Facebook group called Paw Prints University Classmates. Right now, you may be watching this video live in our Paw Prints University page. And so we also have a group called Paw Prints University Classmates. And in the Classmates page, we have a lot of fun sharing pictures of our animals, and we hang out on the quad, which is called the Tri-Legged Quad. So just check it out. We have a lot of fun in there. And then the next thing I want you to do, because we're talking about New Year's Eve, is check out a website called Fear Free Happy Homes. And that is a wonderful place to check out places. So from around the country, you can find a vet near you who uses fear-free techniques. There's a whole veterinarian practices now that are fear-free. So that's a really wonderful place to take your animals when they need care. You can find groomers, you can find vets, you can find professional pet sitters and trainers just like myself on there. And you can also find a whole bunch of videos and helpful tips everything from like learning how to trim your animal's nails to what to do when there's a thunderstorm. So you can find out all kinds of information there. You can also join our wait list for our new course that's starting in February. And I will have more information each week on that. Our course is called Canine Social Etiquette. We are turning our greetings from chaos to calm inside and outside the home, and it's a really exciting program we have. So if you are not on the waiting list yet and you have a dog or puppy that needs some help walking down the street, meeting people, sign up for the waiting list and we will make sure you are one of the first to know when it's open for enrollment. The last thing, in case that's not enough, I have one more. And so this mini training is made possible every week here live. I have them on our YouTube channel and they are on our Facebook group here, and you can find out all kinds of things. So each week we share my top 5 on all kinds of stuff, including potty training and crate training, developing an emergency disaster plan, talking about fear-free, and everything you guys need to know to gear you and your puppy up for success. So with all of that, I want to thank you guys for staying with me through this video. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful New Year's with your family and your new animal companions and your old animal companions, and everyone else in your life stays healthy and successful for the new year. I love you all. Have a great day.